Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Amy Equestrian, and today I'm going to be doing a story time and tell you a little bit how I got to where I am in my journey, and so you can get to know a bit more about me and where I'm at. So it started when I was about 6. I had riding lessons that my father had gotten me. I was riding obviously a very small horse, and I was riding there for about 6 months I think, and then there was a big fire. All the horses went crazy. The entire hill was completely gone, burnt to a crisp. There was nothing left. And during all of that commotion, the trainer that I had at the time had 2 horses. She had a huge horse, and she had the horse that I was training on. So during all of that, one of the horses, the big horse, so I don't know why she got rid of the little horse, but the bigger horse actually trampled her and broke her leg, and I was absolutely devastated after this happened. I never saw him again. My father also had a property in Hobart. He had a big block of land, and next door was a girl, and she owned a couple of horses. So I used to go over to her house and we used to ride her horses. It was a lot of fun. We used to go bareback through the paddocks, through the trees. It was so much fun. So it was just a dream come true to have this girl next door so I could ride her horses with her, and she could also teach me. So that was a lot of fun. Obviously we had a few falls, we had a few things, but there was never anything that stopped me from riding. I absolutely loved it. There was nothing more that I wanted to do than to ride. I always wanted my own horse, but at the time it just wasn't a possibility for me to have one. So after that, I no longer started to go to my father's house, and then I just stopped talking to her as well. Nothing really happened. It just we lost contact. So yeah, since then I've kind of taken a few lessons here and there, but I haven't owned a horse until now, which brings me to about a year ago. So about a year ago, I started to have a look at horses on Gumtree. There were so many beautiful horses, but I wasn't actually like, oh, I'm buying a horse. I was just looking. An agistment at a place in Hobart. I'm not sure if I can actually tell you guys where it is, but it was in Hobart. And I met this horse called Dallas. And George was Banjo's name before I got him. So yeah, that's where I met Dallas. At that time, his name wasn't Dallas. I can't actually remember what his name was, but anyway, I ended up naming him Dallas after I'd ridden him a few times. The first time I ever rode him, I went to look at the agistment to see if they did riding lessons, which is the main reason why I was going there, because obviously I didn't have a horse. So I went there and I had a look, and I talked to the people. They were lovely, and they told me about this one horse that nobody could ride, which intrigued me. Being a beginner probably wasn't my smartest move, but it all worked out for the best. So they told me about this horse he was just a ball of energy. He was very pushy, he was stubborn, he wouldn't listen, he was a go-go more than a whoa kind of horse. So me being the daring person I am, I was like, I'll jump on him. He was wasting away in the paddocks, so I decided I'll just jump on. So I did. I jumped on, no saddle, anything. Obviously he had a bridle on, but I just jumped on and I took him for a ride, and they were so shocked that he did not kick me off or get me off somehow. So yeah, I rid him for about 5 months on and off. He was a beautiful horse. Sometimes he wouldn't listen, but he was all around. He was a beautiful horse. He was a black thoroughbred. I'll actually put in a picture of him because he was absolutely stunning. But yeah, he was a beautiful horse, and that I decided that I wanted my own horse. So I started looking around and I found George, which is now Banjo. He was a beautiful 2.5-year-old quarter horse Palomino. I'll put in a picture of him. Obviously you guys have seen him if you've seen my videos, but yeah, so I'll put in a picture of him, but I fell in love with him. He was so beautiful. So we sent him a message that we wanted to go and meet him. And that was great. And I went and met him, and he was absolutely beautiful. He was so tiny, so loving. And it was actually quite funny. In the paddock that he was in, there was another Palomino and an Appaloosa. People with horses know that Appaloosas are known for their piggish kind of look and their bad attitude. So there was this Appaloosa that was in there, and he actually tried to come and bite me. Now this horse was about 26 or 28, I can't remember what she said, but he was old and grumpy. So he actually tried to bite me, and the sweetest thing, Banjo actually had come over and bitten him because he came at me, and then he came over and he put his head over my shoulder. This was the sweetest thing ever, and I absolutely fell in love with him, and I knew that I had to have him. So I put in an offer and she accepted it. Because of a money situation at the time, he was quite expensive, but obviously not too pricey because he was only just green broken, being so young. So yeah, I put in that, and I've had him for about 6 months now. He's a perfect horse. He's loving, and he's only gotten me off once, so that was my fault. I actually wanted to ride him on one of the days that I had allocated just training. So I just put a bridle on him, and I was like, I'll try bareback. Because I looked at a few places, and in the mainland they actually don't give you a saddle at some training centres. They don't give you a saddle until you have learned bareback. So I thought, what a great learning experience. I'll try it out. Well, I got in the arena, I did about half a lap, and all of a sudden I've always hit the floor like when I had fallen off a horse. So what happened is he actually bucked me off, but because I was bareback, I kind of just slid over the top of him. So I didn't realise that I had been kicked off until I was standing in front of him, like, and I looked behind and he was behind me. It was the absolute most bizarre feeling. It was actually kind of fun, if that sounds horrible. But yeah, it was a good training experience. Obviously teaching him that he can't do that is important, so I decided, okay, maybe bareback isn't the smartest thing to do, so I went and got my saddle and then took him for a few laps in the arena to teach him that kicking me off isn't going to keep me off. But because he obviously is still a young horse, as I've said, I am having lessons a few times a week on other horses. I'm having a few lessons with him. He's getting broken at the same time, so it's all happening all at once. So hopefully down the track, when we both gotten to where we need to be, we can start hopefully jumping. Jumping has always been my dream. I've always wanted to be a show jumper. So hopefully down the track, that's where our goal will be. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. If you guys have any questions for me or about Banjo or anything like that, leave them down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.